Hey, you're listening to the Coffee O'Clock podcast, the show that brings you joy and inspiration, with special guests from all around the world who have an amazing story and expertise to evolve your personal and professional life. I am your host, Burcu, Onaranel, the founder of Joy Marketing and Coaching. Make sure you grab your coffee and get ready to explore new ideas. Let's get started. Hello, Coffee O'Clock people. We are here with a TEDx speaker, Elena Paweta. I have to say Dr. Elena Paweta, who is an executive communication coach, speaker, TEDx organizer, TEDx speaker, and university professor. And you might be guessing that what we're going to talk about is how to become a TEDx speaker, the do's and don'ts, and also how Elena became this global speaker and doing all those things. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Burcu. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. We had an IG live a couple weeks, actually months ago. So if you are into Instagram, go check it out. This one is going to be a little deeper on Elena's story. So before I jump into TEDx questions, because I've got a lot and our audience are waiting for it, I want to ask you, how did you become international speaker and TEDx organizer? Like, were you always extrovert? Were you always open and speaking fearlessly, or did you have some shy moments? Can you please share with us?
Sure. To be honest, I've never been an extrovert. I'm still an introvert, very much an introvert. And I think that in the beginning, I was really afraid of public speaking. I was never the one who raised a hand at school, even at the university. I remember the breakthrough moment for me when I realized that, oh, it's really bad, was when I defending my master thesis. So it is like the big presentation of the big work when you finish your studies. And I was standing with a piece of paper, my hands shaking. I don't remember this presentation at all. I just was trying to read something from this paper. I didn't know, who I am, where I am, and what I'm speaking about. And it was really bad. I thought that, hey, I need to do something about that. But then in a couple of years, I had some business experience. So I started a couple of businesses myself. And then I decided to come back to academia as a PhD student because I wanted to become a professor and teach others. And then I realized that I have to teach in Polish language, which is my third language, by the way. And I had to teach students to speak in front of the audience in a third language. So I was terrified and I started, looking for things to help me with public speaking. Then I found Toastmasters clubs, then I found workshops, then I found different online courses that helped me with this. So I started really working on this myself. And as I progressed and I started teaching at the university, I started giving workshops myself. I did a training certification myself. So I started also teaching others this confidence in communication. And as I coach TEDx speakers now and professional speakers, I'm absolutely sure that you do not need to be an extrovert. You don't need to be this, stage animal to speak in front of others. So you just need to have something to speak about and to practice, to have this confidence.
Yes, and the willingness, like you had, you wanted to do something, you wanted to change that experience. And I was laughing when you were sharing your story, because not laughing at you, remembering my own story. I was the person who was not raising her hand for all the years, not just university, all of my school years. I was super shy. My face would turn into red because I have the white skin. So when I am shy, it just turns into red. So it was not fun. And that's what I wanted to do as well.
Yes, and look at you right now. You're speaking on big stages. And yeah, so I think that if we can do it, then anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. Who wants it. That's the key. You just have to want what's out there, what your soul desires to have, and just have the willingness to change what you have. Awesome. And let's dive into TEDx then. TEDx has become very popular recently. It was more popular in America before, but right now in Europe, it is becoming more popular. You know this more than I do. But when you hear somebody has TEDx speaker on their LinkedIn page, or in any cases, when you hear somebody has this title, then you're like, wow, you must be the expert in speaking, or you must be doing something very extraordinary, or you must have written a book, you must have served so many people in the world. Share with us what it takes to become a TEDx speaker. What are the things that people are looking to have somebody to be a TEDx speaker?
Yeah, and you're right that in Europe we have more and more people interested in becoming TEDx speakers. I can see this myself as I'm coaching TEDx speakers for some time now. And I remember when I started, majority of my clients, they were from the United States. Mm-hmm. So I thought, hey, why nobody knows in Europe about what is TEDx? But now I have more and more speakers. In the last couple of groups that I did, I have a program to how to become a TEDx speaker. And in the last couple of groups, almost all of my groups clients are from Europe. So I think that we have this big trend now that was in the United States a couple of years ago. So definitely when you're a TEDx speaker, it means that you're credible. It means that you have something to share. And in order to get to this stage, you don't actually need to be famous and to be a best-selling author and to be an international speaker. So I think that many beliefs like this, they are stopping people from actually applying to become a TEDx speaker. This is what I see when I start working with my clients, and they are like, oh, but I don't have my book ready yet. When my book is out, then I will start applying. And I said, no, you can start doing this right now. You know what to write your book about, so you have an idea. Let's spread this idea, just not only through the book, but through the big stage as well. So what you need to have is you need to have an idea worth spreading. This is the motto of TEDx events all around the world. And you need to have something new to share about. So it doesn't need to be something that is already out there, published, or someone spoke about this already. So if you want to repeat something that you heard somewhere, then maybe this is not the best idea. So think about something that is uniquely your own. The other thing is that it needs to be interesting and relevant for people. So think, okay, it is interesting for you, maybe for your clients or narrow niche, but is it interesting for bigger audience? And it definitely needs to be credible. So we cannot speak about things that are intangible, that cannot be proven by science, that are just story-based. So we need to have an evidence-based, new, fresh idea, and then we can share it and we can apply it to become a TEDx speaker.
Yes, and what you shared about having a book and other credentials that people are looking, and in most cases, what I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not allowed to promote on the TEDx stage. So it's actually the opposite. When you have your book, then there's no way that you can promote yourself on the stage. So why you're pursuing to have something to share? Because like you shared, the motto is ideas worth spreading. So you need to share your idea and spread it with people. So not necessarily promoting your own branding or business, whatever you do, right?
Yes, absolutely. You're right. So we cannot make TEDx as part of our, press tour, promoting our books or products, because here we need to speak about something that is completely new and not that you did not speak about before and no one spoke about before. and it should not be connected with your business. So you cannot promote and tell after your speech, you know, oh, here is my Instagram, connect with me and book a call with me here. We often hear this at, you know, industry conferences. We do this at some events, but we cannot do this on a TEDx stage. If you see the TED Talks on YouTube, then you will see that from beginning till the end, this is just a piece of art. You need to start with impact, you need to finish with impact, you need to be able to convey this idea, specific idea, in a very short amount of time. So you just don't have time to think about, you know, promoting yourself. But on the other hand, the TED Talk itself can be a great promotion of your personal brand. I would treat it like that, that if you are a TEDx speaker, as you mentioned, Burcu, before, that if you have it in your bio, if you have it in your LinkedIn profile, then it means that you are credible. It means that you are a professional, and then your courses, your books, and all your products, everything that you have is really worth looking at. So I would treat it as a promotional tool, but you cannot, you know, promote anything on this stage.
Yes, not on the stage, but after the stage, promote yourself as a TEDx speaker in any cases, in any event that you go to. So
yeah,
first we need to become a TEDx speaker, and most of my audience are curious to learn. Maybe we can share 3 do's and 3 don'ts to become a TEDx speaker. What would be the 3 do's that they can do?
Do's. I would say that definitely do your homework before applying. And this is already connected with don'ts, because we get many applications that just, oh, I want to speak at your event, and I'm a great speaker. I spoke here and there, and here is video of my speech. But they don't say anything about the idea. They don't know anything about our event. The application is not prepared, and the application is not according to our standards. They are not, the idea is not new, so they didn't do the homework. So I definitely encourage you to do the homework before. Either it is working with a coach, enrolling in a program, or doing it on your own and reading through, you know, many articles and podcasts, listening to podcasts like this one. But do your homework and really prepare very well before the application, because you don't have many opportunities. TEDx event is happening once a year. One event is happening once a year. Depending on where you're located in the world, you might have several events in your city, but each of them, they only happen once a year. They have hundreds of applications. They have only several spots on the stage. So you really need to, you want to send a very well prepared application to this event. So this is the one that I would share. Another one I would share is that when you get there already, when you go through the application process, then make sure to prepare your speech really well. And I've been organizing TEDx events myself for 10 years right now. I've seen many situations when people either did not prepare at all because they thought that, oh, I'm so confident and going to the stage and speaking is my jam. And then they came to the rehearsal without a prepared speech. And to say everything that you want to say within 10 to 15 minutes is so challenging. And professional speakers, they are good in speaking. They can speak for 40 minutes, for hours. But in order to prepare for a 10-minute speech, you need to prepare for several days, months, weeks, for a very long time. So really take this time to prepare, work with a coach. Me, myself, I'm coaching speakers, but before each of my TEDx talks, and I had 2 TEDx talks myself, I had a coach or 2 coaches that I worked with on my speech, because it is very important to have someone to work with someone who knows what is TEDx, not only someone who is an expert in public speaking, and to be able to prepare a speech in this format. So this is something that I would really encourage you to do, to take the time to prepare and to have someone to prepare with.
Thank you. Very, very informative and beneficial tips. And you mentioned application. So when we have, let's say, a couple of ideas or one idea, and you also mentioned there are only ones happening a year, but different events, different locations. So is there a limit to apply to speak at a certain event?
If you're applying to speak at one event and they don't accept you, it's a no. Then what I would recommend is to either ask them for feedback or to work on your idea, to continue working on your idea, either with a coach or yourself, because if it was not accepted, then there is a reason for that. Sometimes you won't get an individual feedback because sometimes we have hundreds of applications and we just have to send a standard message to everyone. Thanks a lot for applying, blah, blah. This time you were not chosen. But if you have a possibility to get a feedback, I would really recommend you to get one. But you can still apply to other events that are happening the same year in the same location. So you're not limited to applying to other events, because each event has a different organizer, different organizing teams. And although they are in touch somehow, because there are those communities of TEDx organizers, they meet, they have workshops together on best practices, how to organize events. But so yes, you can, although I would not recommend you to spam them a lot, because we have those speakers that are sending out applications to all events all over the world with the same message. And then we talk with the organizers and we're like, oh, this is this guy who sent the same application for, fifth time already. So don't spam, but yes, you can do it, but you need to do it in just a smart way.
Yes, thank you. And this is a great information as well, because some people think there's only one shot. If I apply one event, then I'm done for this year. No, you can apply to multiple events, but don't be a stalker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a TEDx organizer, I will tell you that you are listed on a TED webpage under your event. There is your name and surname and links to your profiles. So people start reaching out and writing, oh, let's have a coffee together, let's have a Zoom call together. And they think that if we connect better individually, then they have more chances. I would not recommend to do this before your idea is accepted, because you cannot just start building relationships with someone who you don't know without getting their interest first. So first you need to think about this application. You need to really think this through. If you see the interest from their side, then you can start somehow building relationships, but it should come from them, from the organizers. I would not push too hard, because there are a lot of people who desperately want to get on this stage, and we get a lot of it.
And is there a certain time frame to send either acceptance letters or declined notifications, or each event has their own timing?
Each event has their own timing. I would say they start planning events more or less 6 months before the event, 4 months before the event, if it is a smaller event. So depending on the event, usually for us, and I'm currently part of TEDx Warsaw Women, we are putting out the applications 6 months before the event, more or less. And then we are collecting applications for about a month or maybe 2 months. I know some events who have applications open all year long, and you can just go to their webpage and put your application in. But then one time of the year, they just open it, take everything and choose. I know some events, they don't have their applications out at all. So I would say everything is individual. Each event is individual. And that's why my work, what I'm doing with when I'm working with my clients, is very much individual. It's like event by event, speech by speech, but every client is different. Everyone's goals is different also. So some people say that they want to speak anywhere in the world. Some people say that, oh, I want to speak only in my state where I'm located. So we need to just look at our needs and look at what is happening in the area and then try to adapt.
Nice. People are lucky to work with you. We will come to how to work with you. But before, I have a question related to your own TEDx experience. You mentioned you have been a 2 times TEDx speaker.
Yes.
Do you have something that you wish you known before you had the experience? Maybe you struggled with something, even though you had a coach already because you were well prepared. But did you have anything to share with our audience? Like, I wish I known this before I apply or before I step on that stage.
To be honest, when I applied to speak, I was organizing events for already 7 to 8 years. So I knew everything about TEDx. So there was nothing that surprised me. And that's why I got accepted to 2 events. So I sent out 2 applications and I got accepted to both of them. That's why I had 2 speeches. I did not plan to have 2 speeches, but it just happened. So what I did not expect is completely different emotions during the event, because as an organizer, I am responsible for everything, and I am in a production room. I'm behind the stage. I'm handling, makeup artists and speakers and the last moment coaching behind the stage, event experience, talking to participants. So I'm like everywhere. And as a speaker, I'm so focused on my speech. I'm so in the moment. I'm so present. Although sometimes as an organizer, I had those ideas, oh, lighting on the stage is not so good. I would go to the lighting box and ask to move it. But I'm like, no, this is not my event. I'm not doing this right now. So I really had to focus on my speech, on how on my delivery, on my content, on delivering the most value that I could deliver to my audience. And yeah, I think that this is a huge difference that I know, because I thought that, oh, it is going to be the same. I'm just going to see another TEDx. But as a speaker, it's a completely different story.
You also mentioned you're an organizer and you became organizer before you became a speaker. So what it takes to be an organizer? I'm curious how people can become a TEDx organizer.
Yeah, so how you can become an organizer is you can apply to host a TEDx event in your city or your community where you live. And it is a free application, and TED grants the license, but they have a lot of requirements. So that's why sometimes also people reach out to me to help with obtaining the license and ask, so how can I do this? So basically you need to fill in the license form and what do you want to do? Where do you want this event to take place? Who do you want to speak there? What ideas do you want to spread? And then after some time, if your license is approved, then you have 1 year to host one event. And then you need to manage a lot of things. You need to manage speakers, of course, because this is mostly what we're speaking about now. But speaking is just a very, very, very small part of this event, because there's a lot of logistics behind. You need to manage the whole venue, the lights, the cameras, audio, video production, live streaming, behind the stage, a lot of things going on with all the rehearsals and artists, because also entertainment is a big part of TEDx. So there are a lot of bands, a lot of dancers, and a lot of different things going on behind the stage, and you have to manage all this. Then there is also part of registration. You need to bring people in to make sure they are comfortable, to make sure everyone has their seat, that everyone has food to eat, something to drink, that there is a networking space, there is event experience during the event, that there are partners that are displayed. Then you need to find partners for the event because it is a non-profit event. You cannot profit out of TEDx conference. You cannot make it for money. So you need to bring in sponsors that can help you with different elements of this puzzle. Then you organize after party, before party, rehearsals, and many additional events, workshops for speakers, additional events connected with this one event that we're speaking about. So I would say that organization is a very big project, and if you like challenges, then hey, maybe TEDx organization is a good thing for you. I've been there for 10 years already, and I'm still in, so I really like this.
You like challenges. I can see that, all the things you're doing. So our audience, I am talking to you right now. If you want to organize a TEDx, you have to think twice or multiple times, because as you see, it's not just finding speakers or selecting speakers, it's beyond. It's more than that. So if you're serious about it, if you really want to, you can go check out the website. I'm sure there is a link to become a host. And like Elena mentioned, it's free. But coming to our topic, Elena, what can you share with our audience, like a last legacy sentence to become a TEDx speaker?
It is, first of all, it is very important to understand that you don't need to be a superstar to become a TEDx speaker. You are okay as you are, and I am absolutely sure that you have an idea worth spreading already. You just need to find it within you. So think about this unique experience or some unique idea that you had, or maybe a theory, maybe a research. So something that is so important and so interesting that happened with you, to you, that you can share with the world. And you can become a TEDx speaker. You only need to think of the way how to get there, and those are just logistical issues. The most important thing is to find this idea, which I'm sure you already have. So dig a little bit, and then if you want to become a TEDx speaker, just apply.
Yes, and then the next step is to hire a coach. So can you share a little bit more if people want to reach out to you, work with you to become a TEDx speaker? How do you work with your clients?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity to share about how you can work with me. So I help people to become TEDx speakers. I work one-on-one, I work individually, but also I have a program that is called Pathway to TEDx. It is a 6-month program where step by step, we're working on your idea, on your draft, on your delivery, on your applications. So we are kind of leading you to the stage all together with a small group. And then there is another opportunity to work with me. In October, I'm hosting a retreat in France. It is a 7-day retreat that is called Speak Like TED. And we're going to work on your personal brand, on your idea worth spreading, on your TED Talk. And there will be also a small TEDx stage at the venue. It is a beautiful French castle, Chateau de Vezin. And we will put up the stage there, and by the end of the retreat, you'll be ready to stand on the stage and to speak. So those are several options how you can work with me. I think that if anyone is interested from your listeners, then just feel free to reach out to me on social media and we can discuss, because every case is usually individual.
That's awesome. I am looking forward to your event and all the things you're doing. I will share all the links under our show. Thank you so much for coming and sharing all the things you've learned and sharing with your people and my audience. Do you want to add something else?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Burcu. Just to everyone who's listening to us, good luck with applying and becoming a TEDx speaker.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in today, either watching on YouTube or listening to from Spotify, Apple. Make sure to check out Elena's webpage and TEDx webpage if you want to become a TEDx speaker. I will see you next time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the Coffee O'Clock podcast on Apple and leave us a review. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you feel like someone needs to listen to this episode, share it on your social media or text the link to that person to make an impact in their life. Be sure to tune in every Monday for new episodes. You can also watch the episodes and find more inspiration on my Instagram, which is at JOYYBURCU. Until next time, make sure to spend some time with you and stay with joy.